Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's gonna be a video about things that you can do to get accepted into nursing school, tips and tricks on how to get accepted into nursing school. This video is good for anyone planning to be accepted into nursing school in the near future. A lot of people ask me what I did to get accepted, certain things to know when you apply and whatnot. So I'm gonna go over that in today's video, just to give you guys some tips and tricks. I mean, it's not like I can go up to the dean of your school and hold them at gunpoint for them to accept you or nothing, but I'll give you guys my tips and tricks, things I know along the way. And yeah, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the prerequisites. Prerequisites are the classes that you need to take before you get accepted into any nursing program. So I'm going to list off the prerequisites that I took. So of course you need your English, math, science, basic courses, and then you get into more complicated science that relates directly to nursing courses. So the biggest demon that I had was anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. I struggled in those classes so bad, it almost made me not be a nursing student today because it was too much. Microbiology, I know a lot of schools make you use 1 year of chemistry, or 2 years of chemistry. So I took my prerequisites at Georgia State University. So the prerequisites for nursing that we had to do was lifespan development, and we had to take 2 years of science. So either that was chemistry 1 and 2 or biology 1 and 2. I took chemistry 1, then realized that I wanted to do biology. So I had chemistry 1 and biology 1 and 2. Anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 was like the biggest fight of my life. Like, if you know, you know, but that was the hardest course for me among all the prerequisites. And literally, I'm in nursing school until this day. There's not been a class that's challenged me how anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 has challenged me. So we also have microbiology. I did take a lot of my prerequisites online because I started college in 2020. But the science classes have a lab attached to them. So for example, if you take microbiology lecture, you also have to take microbiology lab. If you take chemistry lecture, you have to take chemistry lab. So those classes were not online because they had a lab part attached to it. Now, I do want to preface this by saying every school is different. Every school has different requirements, but these are the general requirements, and these are the requirements that I had to take. You also need like ethics. My advice for prerequisites in nursing is definitely go to the smallest school you can. So instead of going directly into a big university, I recommend that you take your prerequisite courses at a community school. Community school classes are a lot smaller, so the teachers can really pay attention to you more, and I feel like they explain things better at smaller schools. Whereas big universities, you're in a classroom with 200 people. The professor is kind of just going, and if you're lost, it's a lot less likely you'll get help versus if you're in a class of only like 30, you know. And also, it's cheaper. I definitely recommend taking prerequisites like the cheapest you can get it. I think with prereqs, go cheap. Go to a community school, take them online, because these are just pre-classes. And I promise you, when you get a nursing school, the prerequisites have not been an actual description of nursing. I mean, yes, you definitely need knowledge, like the knowledge part that's taught in the prerequisites, but I think the prerequisites are a lot harder than nursing school, in my opinion. I remember in anatomy and physiology, we would struggle so bad. They would make us spell all the bones and spell every vein and spell every synoid process and spell every cell and spell every histology slide. I mean, it was too much. But I will say I did transfer schools. So the school I took my prerequisites at, Georgia State University, the downtown campus, it was really difficult. It was really difficult. So yeah, for your prerequisites, I do not recommend taking them at a big university. I mean, if you're in a classroom full of 200 students, it's really easy for you to get overlooked, and it's really hard for you to get help. Teachers always say, oh, my office hours is this. But when you're in a smaller classroom, the teacher can actually stop and address any questions that you have right then and there, instead of you having to wait a week or two to schedule office hours, and by the time you get in front of the professor, you forgot the question that you had. So definitely go to a small community college if you can for your prerequisites, and then move to a bigger school for nursing, the actual nursing program. That brings me to my next point. Do not be afraid to switch your professor, because I promise you, the professor you have can literally make or break your grade in the class. The professor you have makes all the difference in a class. I had a certain professor for microbiology. I did not understand his teaching. He made it very complicated, very hard. I was not learning anything in the class. I ended up dropping microbio while I could still withdraw. I enrolled in microbio the following semester. I ended off with an A in microbiology. The teacher explained it perfectly. She was interactive. We did Kahoots. She gave us notes. She gave us printed notes. She gave us worksheets, and she gave us everything that we needed to be successful. So do not be afraid to withdraw while you can. Do not be afraid to switch professors. Do not be afraid to drop a professor, because the professor you have in a class can make or break your grade in the class. And I'm saying this from experience. That brings me to my next point. You want to go and rate my professor. Because the professor you have in the class can make or break your grade in the class, you don't want to just select any professor. You want to be on Rate My Professor morning, noon, and night when you're choosing your classes. Depending on what school you go to, almost every teacher is on Rate My Professor. So if you go on Rate My Professor and actually do your research instead of just enrolling for anyone and registering for anyone's course, you're not going to have to withdraw, because you're not going to pick the bad professor in the first place. Use Rate My Professor. If you're still taking your prerequisites for nursing, begin studying for your TEAS/HESI/entrance exam today. Don't wait for you to be done with your prerequisites and at the time that you're applying, you just start studying. You want to study your entrance exam into nursing school from the moment you start taking your prerequisites. Entrance exam can really break or make your acceptance. You could be rejected from a school if you score low on the TEAS or your HESI. So the test is really just a combination of the prerequisites combined, in my opinion. But because of this, you do not want to take your TEAS or HESI before you finish taking your prerequisites. You don't want to not even have taken Anatomy 1 or 2 and then take the TEAS or take the HESI, because the content that's you get taught in the prerequisites is heavily based in these exams. The nursing school entrance exam has heavily based in the prerequisites that you take before you can apply to nursing school. So you want to begin studying for it like as soon as you start taking your prerequisites for nursing. What I did is I bought a book. I'll put a picture here, where it's just a whole bunch of practice questions, and you just want to go over and do some practice questions and take time to study throughout your nursing prerequisite journey. So then when the time comes you to actually take the exam, you're not nervous, you're not looking lost, and you're not trying to do a last minute cram. Because the TEAS and HESI, they're long exams and they're really important exams. The score you get on this makes or breaks your nursing school acceptance. So you want to start studying today. It doesn't matter if you're still taking Biology 1. Get the book and start studying today. It doesn't even matter if you're still taking English 101. Get the book and start studying today. Thank you. My third tip for nursing school acceptance is do not prioritize going to a certain school over prioritize going to nursing school. So a lot of people that I was in class with, we went to Georgia State, like I said. If they did not get into Georgia State's nursing program, they were just going to change their major into something else. So it's like, do you actually want to do nursing? Or are you just trying to get any degree? Because I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. When you change your major because you got a rejection, when you change your major because you failed a class or whatever, you're giving up. You're quitting. You're quitting on your goal of becoming a nursing student. Simple. Whatever major you choose will challenge you in some way. If you really have a goal of becoming a nursing student, do not let a failing grade, a rejection letter, or whatever change that. Do not change your major just because you got a no, you got a rejection, you got an F. It's not the end of the world. But when you prioritize going to a certain school over prioritizing, hey, even if I have to go to a different program, even if I have to go to a different school, my goal is to be a nursing student. My goal is not to be a nursing student at Emory specifically, and if Emory reject me, forget it. I don't even want to be a nursing student no more. Because that turns a lot of students away from nursing. Just because the school that you took your prerequisites at rejected you, it's not the end of the world. There are lots of nursing programs out there who will accept you. If you have the right TEAS or HESI score, and you have an okay GPA in your sciences, and you've passed all of your prerequisites, just because the first school you apply to, or the dream school you apply to, or the school that you currently apply to, and the school that you currently go to have, rejected you, apply to other schools. Apply to other schools. Apply to other schools. It's not the end of the world if you have to transfer. A lot of times when you get rejected at, the nursing program at your school, they'll tell you, oh, just major in respiratory therapy. Well, if your goal was to become a nurse, why would you change your major to respiratory therapy? To me, that's quitting. That's giving up. And guess what? The only way you're gonna 100% guarantee yourself to fail is if you quit. If you do not give up, you will not fail. If you do not stop trying, you will not fail. Changing your major and trying to opt out and pick an easier major, that's quitting. Most people get rejected from a certain program that they would have liked to have gone to. It's not the end of the world. You can transfer. Life goes on. Don't put going to a certain school over pursuing nursing. It doesn't matter. When you graduate with your degree, they're not going to say, what school did you go to and what school did you not go to? Baby, a degree is a degree. So you guys need to stop changing your major just because you want to go to this school and the nursing program at this school rejected you. Go to a different one. Go to another one. Apply to another one. So yeah, if you have the right grades in your prerequisites, most programs want you to get A's or B's, especially in like the science courses. If you have a high score on your HESI or TEAS, I personally took the HESI. If you look on my channel, I have another video more specifically talking about things I did to get a high score on my HESI. You can definitely check that out. It's on my channel. And if you just don't quit, and if you don't just change your major just because you get a no, just because you fail one class, just because you get a rejection letter, and you keep going and you branch out and apply to the other programs, you will make it. Simple. I hope you guys liked my video. I know that nursing is hard, and there's so many different questions people may have, and there's so many different aspects to it. If you guys have any other more specific questions or videos ideas that you guys would like to see from me regarding nursing, please comment below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye guys.